Hello there survivors and welcome back to another video in ARK Survival Ascended. Today I've got a pretty special build over here. This is based on something from the Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings world, the House of Beorn. And I've tried to get it pretty close to what we see in the movies, but obviously taking some liberties to also make it a useful base here in ARK itself. So we have the main building featuring a pretty nice stable area for some of your tames, and then the living quarters where all your crafting and storage can be stored, and of course your bedroom as well. And we're even using the attic of the stable area for a little bit of an aviary. And then the surrounding area I've actually dressed up similar to the movies as well, making a circle of trees as a kind of walled defense area, and try to dress it up with a lovely array of creatures that you might expect to see at the House of Beorn. As always, if you like seeing these builds and you want to see more, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and let me know down in the comments below if you would like to see a tutorial of this one. And of course, feel free to leave any suggestions for future builds you would like to see next. With that being said, let's take a good look at this entire build. And here we go, we are here at the House of Beorn on its trails, and as you can see I made a circle of trees. I used JVH landscaping for this. Of course you could try it with the normal plant pots and shovel in the main game, but probably harder to find big trees especially. And if you're looking for this location specifically, we've built it right over here in the corner of the world. We got the main build over here with the stables and the living quarters, as well as a pretty nice amount of land here with some pathways, a little field for the sheep, a little field of plants, and a bunch of bees and everything as well. So we'll take a quick look around it all, and yeah, I'm hoping that you'll like this build because I had a really good time trying to make this. Of course, I was looking for some videos to do, and yeah, I kind of got this idea and then I instantly fell in love with it. So instantly, if we arrive at this area, we have the wall with rocks and trees, which is a really cool and unique look. And then we have a nice inner courtyard where some of our mammoths are, you know, just enjoying their life here in the fields. We've got some horses walking around here as well, just enjoying their best life and just being wandering to, you know, get the feeling from the movie, although that one seems to be really liking that one log. But I promise you there's a couple of more of them out here, and it's a pretty lovely area by itself already, because these flowers, for example, are always here, so it feels very peaceful already. And then yeah, with the horses it just feels very, very, very appropriate. And yeah, we have a bunch of cool things to see. But yeah, of course the main attraction is right over here with the pathway that kind of leads you up to the main building. We have a little field full of sheep that are, you know, just grazing about here as well, which is quite cool. And I really felt for this build in particular that was important to have some of this life around it, because it's a big part of Beorn's house, of course, to have a lot of the nature and the animals around it. So yeah, I feel like it adds to the vibes overall. And then of course I had to add some dire bears as well to symbolize Beorn's. We got some lovely gardens out in front, more JVH landscaping. The pathways are from the JVH garden mod, and then we have the Western Deco railings here and the ranch gates as well. This is from CKF, Castle, Keeps and Forts, combining a little bit, mostly just for the details. The building itself is completely doable with the normal base game structures, and I think it looks quite nice. But let's take a quick look around still of the area around it. Lots of natures, lots of cool plants, and utilizing the landscape. We have a little outdoor fireplace here, you know, maybe have like a little kitchen going on out here. And we have a bunch of bees, of course, because that's also a big part of the Beorn's gardens. And then of course I had to also make a little dodo coop, so we have a bunch of dodos in here. You know, Lance would really like this place. just a tiny little simple dodo coop to add next to your building, which, you know, just to add some life. Got a little dermis here just to bring that character into the build. And then we got a bunch of bees back here. There we go. We have some actors as well. Just some nice things following me. But yeah, we have a bunch of bees here because that fits in with the Beorn gardens very well, of course. Just to bring some life to it. And you can see I've done a lot of landscaping here to really make it feel a little bit more special. And the pathway leads all the way across to the other side. We do have a really good look also of the back of the build here, where you can see this entrance is completely different to the one in the other side of the building. So yeah, and actually utilizing the new big barn door, which means you can get some decently sized creatures inside if you wanted to. Some more bee stuff over here, and then the pathway links back up here in the front where we have our sheep and our horses walking around. And then over here we have more beautiful landscape to enjoy and a little field here using the clinger crop plots, which you can make look like they're just planted out in the land, and you can get a nice little field, you know, to enjoy for all of your gardening needs. And of course, more bears. You can't have enough bears over here. All right, leaving the bees behind, let's take a proper look at the main building again. So yeah, it has a pretty nice look, I think. The only piece that isn't vanilla is this window, which you could easily change out with normal greenhouse glass. I just liked the pattern a little bit more. It's from Architect Structures Remastered, but you can see most of it is just a normal stone, the normal wood, and a little bit of the frontier skins to, yeah, add that little bit extra to it. And we also have the Amisa custom cosmetic for the chimneys, but normal chimneys definitely work as well, just to spice it up a little bit more. And then this is one of the entrances. You could see it as the main entrance. In my case, this is probably the main door that you would use, but yeah, it's up to you, of course, what you like. But yeah, you do have the nice front of the building here with a cool entrance here, nice dino gate, so a big entrance coming into the main hall here. We've got another dire bear, we got another horse, and we got a few of these stable areas that you can keep some of your tames in. You can close the doors also, of course, if you wanted to. Just depending. Oh, that was a little bit scary, but yeah, just depending on what you want, of course. But yeah, you have a few of them here. So these are actually the bigger stable ones. These are 3 deep, so you can have some decent creatures in here. Then this middle section we have left open for the industrial forge and some crafting area as well, to kind of incorporate that in to the main build, which I think is really nice and really cool to do. I've got a lot of the hay around, which is also from the Western Deco mod, just to bring, again, a lot of life to it. And then we have some more stables here. So on this side, they're all 3 deep. On this side, they're just 2 deep. So for the smaller animals, but you can see you have a lot of room here in the middle as well. And then, of course, you could always leave out some of the pillars if you prefer to have more open space, but I just wanted to bring that character into the build, as you can see. And then we have a little area over here as well. We've got some cats hanging out here. We got some of the stuff that we would need for our tames, the gene and embryo things, and then we have, of course, feeding troughs all around it. And this would also be just a nice place to have maybe some of the larger creatures around there. And yeah, I think it adds a lot of character to it. We have some places for, well, this is my dino depot, but the cryo fridge would go here. I've got a teleporter here with the Amisa skin and place to hatch eggs. Of course, we also have some ways to go up to the second layer, which is kind of like the attic. So we have a lot of hay here just to kind of fill it all up, but also your flyers, you could easily park them up here. And, you know, even the bigger flyers like a Dreadmare can fit inside. Like, it's not easy, but they can definitely fit inside. And maybe some playful cats will make their way up to the beams too. You know, you're never really sure what could happen. And then we have another flyer at the end there. But yeah, you can see it's an easy way to get around. You still have a decent amount of space there. And if you wanted even more space, of course, you could just have ceilings everywhere. I just kind of liked the old barn vibe and having a little bit of this area opened up with like a proper beam structure in place instead of just another floor. And then we also have the scaffolding going up all the way to kind of support it. You could add in even more beams if you wanted to. I might actually do some more beams, but yeah, overall I think the vibes here are definitely that of like a very nice cozy barn, but still you have pretty good amount of space to utilize here. And then we have some more over here. You can see a Dreadmere does fit in, except that if you close the door, his head will be through it, or his wings will be through the back. But just for size, we got a little pig here as well, and then some more creatures here. We've got a Doet next to our visual storage system, and we have some crafting needs here on the other side. We've got the Pyromane for the fire, as well as another Dire Bear Dermis to kind of welcome us in. Lovely table detailed with some Roman custom cosmetics to get all the food items. Another little cat, and of course the big chimney, which is kind of just a normal chimney, but then build a structure around it to make it a little bit more special, and then just some bits and bobs everywhere to add a little bit of details. We got some barrels here. We've got the cooker with the Amisa skin, the smithy, the grill here as well, and then the drop box for the visual storage. So yeah, kind of makes this your like main base area. And of course, if you need more space for your storage, you could layer it up a little bit, because you still have some height here as well, or you can utilize part of the barn for more storage if you need to. It's very customizable, of course, but I do kind of like this vibe. I feel like even though it was based on like Beorn's house from The Hobbit, I think this is actually a pretty decent layout for an ARK base. You've got a lot of space for maybe your tames or storage, whatever you prefer, and then a small like cute cozy little living quarters here, and then we have even a little bedroom back here to, you know, catch some sleep or just respawn in your times of need. But yeah, I think it works very well. I'm quite happy with the way this one turned out. I was very excited after I got the idea to do it, and I did a little bit of research, you know, and looking at some props from the movie and some miniatures from the movie, and trying to figure out how to bring that all to ARK. And I think it works quite well for a cool ARK base. And of course, with all the animals, definitely brings a lot of life to the build itself, as well as the outside area here with the lands around it. So yeah, I definitely am really happy with the way this one turned out. I think it's a very nice and cozy build, and it's always fun to do, you know, take some inspiration from movies or shows you really love and try to bring that to your ARK base. And this one is definitely one that I would love to use and to kind of live in. So maybe for Ragnarok, you know, I might have to build this again and utilize it, or wait until I continue on Australis and just live here and live a peaceful life with all my animals. Anyway, hopefully you liked the base as well. If you did, of course, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let me know down in the comments below if you would like to see a full step-by-step tutorial on how to build the main base itself. And of course, feel free to leave suggestions for future builds that you would like to see down in the comments below. For now, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.